Welcome to GoExpand. My name is Trevor, and I'll be taking you on a deep dive of the application to show you what it's all about. Upon first logging in to GoExpand, you will notice your dashboard. This is the default view we're looking at. Up top, we have some visualizations of performance, alignment, and engagement. Way more about that later. We have a trend chart and a neat little tool called Give Feedback. Over here you can see the raw values that populate these scores, roles and skills that are attached to the seat, and core values in engagement, which are attached to company values and employee engagement. Below you have access to every meeting that you might need to attend at any moment, and you will have your own personal to-do list. Your dashboard can be customized to include any module from GoExpand that you might wish to have quick access to. Now, as we take this deep dive into GoExpand, it is important to note that we are an official licensee of EOS worldwide. However, GoExpand is not developed nor has been created by EOS worldwide. We are just an EOS compatible software. As we move through this deep dive, you will notice some orange terms. Those are going to be EOS specific. We do offer a non-EOS version, but for the sake of this dive, we'll be using our EOS version. So, meetings we will tackle a little bit later. To-dos you've kind of seen. Let's get into our first drop down with people. So, we will move to the accountability chart, and upon logging to the chart, you will see all of the people who report to you, and then underneath them, any people who report to them. If you want to dig a little bit deeper into anyone within the company, simply click their card and access more information. As you will notice in the accountability chart, you will see scores for performance, alignment, and engagement. These scores show throughout the application for a quick view of how your company health is doing from the top all the way down through the bottom. We also offer a future accountability chart that allows organizations to plan for the future. You can start from scratch, you can use a template, or you can pull in your existing users and build for the future, just to get an idea of what department you'd like to have, maybe additions to each department, and maybe adding some new staff here, there, and yonder. Moving on down to one piece that is not commonly found in other BOS systems, we have our own performance reviews. So you can just click any employee, and then you will notice, just like on the dashboard, you will see items for seat roles and seat skills, company values, and engagement, allowing managers to do quarterly, semi-annual, or annual performance reviews that can be tied to each employee's record or dashboard. Throughout the application, you will notice a little microphone and a magic wand. This is part of our AI offering. You can click the microphone anywhere you see it to begin transcribing the conversation, and then once the conversation is over, you click the magic wand and AI will automatically summarize the conversation, bringing out main points and identifying to-dos that should be completed by either user in the conversation. Moving on to our project management suite, GoExpand allows you to create long-term goals, which are 1 to 3 year goals consisting of individual projects nested within. Long-term goals, of course, have a start and a due date, a name, and an owner selected. You can add team members or entire teams. You can also add viewers who can see the long-term goal, but they won't be interacting with it. You can also add your long-term goals to any and all meetings that you want to, and create projects, or in this case rocks, nested into the long-term goals while you are creating them. You have two views of your long-term goal list. This is our list view, and you could also see the card view. When using the card view, the system automatically calculates the doneness of all projects in the long-term goal, giving you a quick view on the overall progress of that goal. Moving down the hierarchy of project management within GoExpand, we have projects, or in this case, rocks. Those rocks that are identified as important to the company to keep the needle moving will always be listed up top as your company rocks, and then below rocks will be sectioned off by users. All updates to rocks happen in real time within the application, so anything edited here will also be edited in any meeting that the rock is a part of. Status updates are also in real time, so if we were to update any status here, it would update globally throughout the application. So let's jump into a rock here. We'll look at this company rock, and upon jumping into the rock, you can see that we've got 3 to-dos which carry the M tag for milestones. One little item on that, if I were to jump out to my dashboard right now and look at my to-do list, you'll see that I have 1 to-do with an M on it. Unique to GoExpand, milestones are held within rocks, but once a milestone is within 7 days of the due date, it will automatically pop on your to-do list so that you have visibility and you can be accountable to completing that milestone. One other item to address with GoExpand and projects or rocks is completion percent is automatically calculated based on the doneness of the milestones within the rock. So users have the option of clicking in progress as they're working on the milestone, or they can complete the milestone. Upon completion, it'll drop down there. And then if we are to refresh, you can see the system automatically calculates that this rock is 33% complete, or 1 out of 3. Now jumping out back to the dashboard, we will address to-dos or tasks. Tasks have their own home on the dashboard. You can see the difference between active, starred, or all of your completed tasks. You can also find tasks or to-dos on your to-do list or under the rocks menu for a little bit more in-depth look. We had some filters for last month, last week, this month, and so forth. You can also filter by the task or to-do status. You'll notice another badge here called Promise. These are to-dos that come from your weekly meetings. If a to-do is assigned during a weekly meeting, it can be tagged as Promise, stating that this to-do will be done in 1 week. This Promise task completion factors into the task completion or to-do completion that you see right here on the dashboard, and this completion over the last 90 days factors in to your to-do completions. To create a to-do, all you have to do is click Add To-Do from the dashboard widget or from your to-do list or anywhere you see this little checkbox. When we jump into meetings just a little bit later, you'll see how that happens there, but I'm just going to click this box here and it'll open up our to-do creation. So simply give it a name, start date, end date, who it's assigned to. By default, it's going to be the logged in user, same as assigned by. If the to-do needs approval, you can list that approver there. If you need to add this to-do to any meeting or even to a rock or project, you can do that from the creation screen as well. Down here we have our trusty text box, which will allow you to type as much detail as you'd like to go with that to-do. You can attach links, upload files, photos, insert tables, quotes, or even video. Advanced options on our to-dos. You can set up reminders to be notified via text message or email 5 days, 48, or 24 hours before. You can also automatically add your to-dos to any of your calendars outside of GoExpand. And one thing I failed to mention when we were looking at our projects or our rocks is creating a rock is much like creating a long-term goal. You can start date, due date, name, Subtitle, lengthy description as long as you want it. We're going to have owners and then all of our same items here. The neat thing about creating a rock within GoExpand is you can go ahead and nest to-dos within the rock as you create it. So if you're sitting down and planning out your next 90 days, you can do this from start to finish with your rocks, also including descriptive to-dos. Once the rock is created, it'll be fully nested with all the information you need. We also offer rock templates, so if you have proven processes for 90-day plans, or if you're simply creating maybe a month-long project, you can create templates within the application, and those templates will automatically give your rocks a start and a due date, and if there's any to-dos attached to that template, they will automatically populate. If the start date is changed, the rock will update itself to reflect the time period chosen for the template, and the to-dos will reflect those time periods as well. And that, in a nutshell, is our project management piece, or the rocks drop down in this view of GoExpand. Moving on to our performance tab, you can see 5 items here. We will cover 4 of these rather briefly. First, we will start off with, in this case, the VTO, or business plan. And this is the heart of your organization when you are planning out the next 10 years. Like everything else in GoExpand, things in the VTO are fully connected to other pieces of the application. So we pull in our core values from the company settings, we insert our core focus, 10-year plan, marketing strategy, 3-year picture. The neat thing about GoExpand, of course, is as we are adding these long-term goals here, you can see a very familiar modal pop up. You can create your long-term goals as you are filling out your business plan or VTO, just in the same way that you were shown earlier when we were looking at this component of the application. Moving on to the next tab. Same thing for our goals in our 1-year outlook. You can create them instantly, assign them, place them in whatever meetings that you need to make sure they are visible in, and so they can be discussed. And then when we move on to our next 90 days and our rocks, just like with the long-term goals, if you need to add a rock right here and insert to-dos or milestones within that rock from inside the business plan or VTO, you can absolutely do that, so that you're not having to open up other tabs or go somewhere else. You can hash all of this out right in real time. And finally, with our issues, same thing. Open up an issue, add it to as many meetings as you want. If you want to tag it to a rock, you could. And immediately when issues are added to the business plan or VTO, they are identified as long-term and automatically tagged to the VTO. The reverse is also true with issues. If you wanted to create an issue and make it long-term, you can add it to the VTO of your choice, and you can do this from anywhere in the application. GoExpand is set up such that as you are working throughout the day, if just something comes to mind and you know you need to add it to a specific meeting or anywhere else, all you have to do is start up here and fill out all the drop downs, and it will be waiting on you when you arrive to either your business plan or your meeting. And finally, the last tab on the business plan allows you to SWOT your plan, and it's basically a text box that you can list all of your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And anywhere in the application, I'm sure you may have seen these little eyes throughout. If you ever have a question about what that thing is, you simply click on it and you get a slide out that shows you everything about that specific piece of the application. Moving on down through our performance, the classic scorecard. Now this is an overall scorecard. It will take the login user and look at everything beneath them, but of course you've got all of these filters here that you can fill out before you hit visualize. So in this case, we're just going to look back to the beginning of June, and let's take a look at our financials. We will hit visualize, and we will see our raw data at the bottom, but a graphical representation of that data for the time frame selected. Hovering over any of these points can show you exactly who that metric looks like, or who that metric belongs to, who updated it, and when, and it will give you a percentage of the actual goal target or metric target. If you want to hone in on people and maybe remove some folks, all you got to do is just click and they'll remove, so that you can have a little bit more concise view of what you'd like to see. Going to skip Team Dashboard for just a second and move on to another unique item with GoExpand is our forms. GoExpand has its own form building component. It comes preloaded with these forms here. Depending on which version of the application you have, EOS compatible, of course, will come with a few other forms than the non-EOS version, but you have all types of 360 reviews, annual, biannual forms. And once we jump into meetings just in a second, I will show you a little bit more about how these forms can interact within the application. But one neat thing here, I'll just use this form as an example because it's at the top. You can see that we have, a fake label at the top, and then we've got some questions here, 1 to 5 Likert. There are 23 different types of questions you can add to these forms. Notes, no notes, not applicable, multiple choice. The sky is the limit. But the neat thing about these things is you can create your own forms and use embed codes to embed them on your website. So really good for surveys on your website. Links are automatically generated if you would like to send a form out possibly to your customers on invoices, or just a general survey to people who are not in your organization. And then automatic generation of QR codes that can be copied and pasted anywhere physically for people to scan with their phone and take a survey. Now, moving on back to one of the highlights of GoExpand is the team dashboard. You can see we got all kind of different teams here. I'm going to click on all company. And once again, we're going to be looking at our performance and alignment, but this is a scatter plot that allows managers to quickly see where their employees fall on an x-axis of performance and the y of alignment. Managers can increase or decrease the stringency of the team dashboard. So let's say we're just starting out and we want to increase our green area as we grow. But the more we get used to our function within the company, the more we want to strive for success, we can begin leveling that up step by step. And now people who were not in the green or were in the green are now in the red. And we can focus on continually trying to achieve to make it to the top right of this chart. Of course, what we're looking at here are performance and alignment scores. Engagement is also calculated, but on the team dashboard, these calculations take the average of the entire team. So just another good insight tool in GoExpand to give managers and top level managers a real quick look at the health of their company. And thinking about performance, alignment, and engagement, I'm back to my personal dashboard here. I am going to jump down now to Derek. And I just want to look at an employee dashboard. So it's going to look relatively similar to mine. I can quickly see our performance, alignment, and engagement scores, but I can also see any rocks that this employee is involved in. I can see a quick status of where those rocks stand. I can also see their to-do list. And if I want to access any prior performance reviews, they are there for me. If we've created any forms for this employee, those results will be on the form tab as well. We also offer check-ins, which are just real simple yes/no surveys for employees in our elite versions of the application. With that all said, I will now move on to everything that the item that actually wraps everything together within GoExpand, and that is meetings. Meetings in GoExpand can come in all shapes and sizes, but it comes preloaded with your standard leadership meetings, quarterly meetings, annual meetings, and one-on-ones. The neat thing about GoExpand meetings is if you want to create a new meeting, and in this example, I'm going to say I'm a manager and I need to set up 6 one-on-ones in the application. Well, you don't have to do that from scratch. You can use our meeting templates. Much like project templates, meeting templates are pre-made and preceded with specific agenda items and times. So if you'll look at this agenda preview over here with our basic meeting agenda, and if I click on weekly one-on-one, the agenda automatically changes itself and we have preset times. If I wanted to create a leadership meeting, I should just click our leadership template and we will get a classic leadership meeting template here. I can give it a name. It can be named a departmental meeting or whatnot, but you automatically get all of these options here. And of course, the same is true for all of our other templates. So very quick meeting creation, that's the word, within GoExpand. But the other thing to note is, much like the dashboard when you log in, GoExpand allows you to add any other item from the application itself. You can see those toggles down here. We also allow you to embed items. So these can be external websites. These can be iframes, so that you don't have to access outside items or third-party applications. You can embed those right in the application. And as I'll show you just a little bit, those items are fully functional within a meeting itself. So no need to open anything else. If you need to attach anything, any files to a meeting, you can do that as well down here. So what I'm going to do now is just jump back out to my dashboard, and since I've got the My Meetings widget open, I'm going to go in and look at the executive L10 here. Should be pretty cut and dry. We've got a nice little segue, and then we've got our scorecard within the meeting that's going to show all the metrics pertinent to the meeting, and a graph below. Our rocks, if we need to discuss them. So as mentioned earlier, you can place rocks in meetings, and when you do so, all you have to do is just click on the title. You can see that mathematical calculation of the doneness of the rock, and if you really wanted to, just click view details and you will jump right into that rock to see all that it consists of. Headlines are open note section here that is very versatile, which I'll show you in just a minute. In this case, our challenge and solution or IDS section. You can see all of our issues here that we would like to discuss, and anything that's been previously discussed, just click on show archive and there you have it. If you want to look back at what was mentioned, all you have to do is click and read. And this highlights one of the first things we said in the video. This discussion was actually transcribed, and then after that discussion was transcribed, it was summarized, and this is the AI summarization of that discussion. We can see next steps here. In addition to the summarization, these next steps were automatically turned into to-dos and placed within the meeting. So in a good meeting cadence, once the discussion has been had and your to-dos are created, you can go back to to-dos and you can assign those to the person that they need to be assigned to, adjust any due dates and add any notes. And finally, you can conclude by rating the meeting and then end the meeting. Once the meeting is ended, a meeting recap will be sent out to all meeting attendees, and those recaps will be housed here in the meeting preview as well. Opening the recap will show you how long the meeting lasted, what date or what time it started, who attended the meeting, how long we spent in each agenda session or segment, and then how many to-dos were created or solved, and what did we talk about. Just a real quick summary of what went on, and a real good tool for people who may not have been able to attend the meeting. They get the meeting recap and they can get a general consensus of what went on. Jumping outside of that L10, I'm now going to go move to our kitchen sink meeting, because this showcases something that GoExpand can do outside of the classic meeting setup. If you have noted something, this start meeting button is glowing. I have not started the meeting. So once you enter the meeting, this is called the meeting preview. You can interact with the full agenda. You can add as many questions as you want before the meeting. You can see other people's questions that have been added before the meeting. And it really gives people a good sense of pre-meeting, meaning we're going to prepare before this meeting before it actually starts and make sure that we're going to make the most of our time. One thing unique to GoExpand is our shoutouts module. So this is a form of feedback. You can pick an employee and then you can give them what are called fives. These are the highest ranking feedback items in the application. When a shout out is filled out, it fills out the shout out board and other members of the organization can like them. Just a unique way to highlight the positives within your organization. Now a little fun, using our open notes here, we can put memes in if we want to, just as a little icebreaker or something to talk about. But as described before, you can make this a link list. You can upload files and have a file list here. You can even create tables. I think you saw that during the headlines, and any other item that you would like to open or add to this open notes text field here. Anytime you click save on your text field, an archive version will be over here for quick access to any changes that happened. As shown before, we can upload PDFs for review. So if you need static documents to look at, you can do that. Also with our embeds, if you have any type of slide deck, those can be included in your meeting, and they operate fully functionally as any slide deck would, with no need to jump back anywhere else or off to another tab to try to present. All other items that we've discussed already are available within any meeting so that you don't have to open up any other tabs or go elsewhere outside of the meeting. And that's the quick trip down meeting management and GoExpand. Our meetings were designed, as said before, to encompass everything within the application and allow users to house every item they need for any specific meeting in one spot and not have the need to have 8 billion tabs open or 5 screens. And speaking of housing everything in one spot, yet another unique feature of GoExpand is the ingrained AI assistant. The assistant comes out of the box, able to help you navigate and find answers to normal questions on how the application operates. I'll give you an example right here. So I've asked the assistant how to create a rock, and it will think for just a second. And it will come back with the answer based on all of the knowledge base articles that have been submitted to the application. Of course, this is just in-app guidance. What if you want to know, or a user wants to know about company policy? Company policy documents can be uploaded to the AI assistant as well. Any type of documentation that you might want your employees to have access to can be uploaded to your assistant simply by attaching a file. So for an example here, I'm going to type in a question about some type of company policy. Let's say reimbursement. Now I'm going to pause the screen again so you don't have to watch me typing, but here we go. So here's the questions we've asked our assistant. We will send that question on and let it think. And there we have our answer on this company documentation. This is how you get reimbursed for purchases. So in reality, the sky is the limit with your AI assistant. You can put proven processes within the assistant, so employees have access to exactly how they're supposed to do certain tasks within the organization, great or small. Also, if your organization has its own open AI workspace, that workspace can be connected to your assistant so that you will have full chat GPT availability within GoExpand itself. So in and of itself, linking your OpenAI workspace to GoExpand will provide a cost savings because you instantly provide access to your employees to the power of Chat GPT. The AI assistant is ever evolving, as AI does as well, but as said before, just another unique offering of GoExpand, and in our thought, a game changer when you think about the ability it allows you to upload company specific items and then access context and history from within your OpenAI workspace. And that is the deep dive into GoExpand. I hope you put your YouTube channel on 2x speed so you didn't have to listen to my slow accent the whole time. But as said way long ago, my name is Trevor with GoExpand, and it's been my pleasure to take you through this deep dive. Have a good one.